Hello everyone, and welcome back to Unbound Learners Pre-K. How are you doing today? That's great to hear. Let's sing our good morning song together. Stretch your arms out like airplane wings. We'll fly to one side, over to the other side, fly back to the middle. Big stretch out in front. Now take the circle up over your head. We'll fly on this side, over to the other side. One last time up at the top. And now let's bring the circle back down and sing. Good morning, dear earth. Good morning, dear sun. Good morning, dear rocks and flowers, everyone. Good morning, dear beast and birds in the trees. Good morning to you and good morning to me. Good morning, friends. I hope that you all are having a wonderful day so far. We have 3 things that we need to do before we get started on the calendar and weather chart. Number 1, let's turn on our listening ears. Next, we have to find our thinking hats. So you look for yours. My thinking hat is over here. I'm going to put it on top of my head. And today, my thinking hat has a ribbon underneath my chin. So I'm going to tie it up into a bow. And the last thing that we need to do is warm up our hearts like this. Boom, 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 boom. And now it's time to get started. Behind me, I have the calendar and weather chart. First, let's go over the date. Here's the month. Do you know what it's called? September. And today is September 14th. I'm going to move the chip over from yesterday. Yesterday was September 13th, and today is September 14th, and the year is 2021, but you can also say 2021. Let's take out our counting fingers, and we'll warm them up to give them a little stretch. And let's see how many days we've had so far in the month of September. Will you count with me? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We've had 14 days so far in the month of September. Now it's time to sing the Day of the Week song. So for this song, we hold up 7 fingers like this. We start with one hand. One hand only has 5 fingers, so we need 2 more fingers like this to make 7. Each finger for each of the 7 days of the week. And if you know the words, you can sing along with me. There are 7 days, there are 7 days, there are 7 days in a week. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Down at the bottom of the chart, we have the days of the week. So let's go over them together. Listen carefully for the sound that the day starts with, and if you know what the day is, you can say it with me. Yesterday was Monday. That means that today is Tuesday, and tomorrow will be Wednesday. Let's go back and sing Today is Tuesday together. Today's Tuesday, today's Tuesday, today's Tuesday, all day long. Today is Tuesday, today is Tuesday, today is Tuesday, all day long. Up at the top of the chart, we have the season. What's the season still, friends? Summer. That's right. It's still summertime for a little over a week. And now we're going to go down to the bottom and let's sing the weather song together before we share what we see outside of our window. What's the weather? What's the weather? Can you tell? Can you tell? Is the sun shining? Is the rain falling? Can you tell? Can you tell? So today where I live, it's another sunny day. When I look outside, the sun is shining, the sky is clear and blue, and my temperature chart is on orange because it's warm. Today it's warm and sunny, although in the morning it's been a little chilly and starting to feel like fall. What about you, friends? Do you have fall weather yet where you live? Thanks for sharing the weather with me. Now let's move on to the letter, the number, and the sign of the week. Yesterday, we talked about this capital letter. This letter makes two sounds. Can you make the short sound for me? Uh. And what about the long sound? What does that sound like? U. And what is this letter called? U. This is an uppercase U. U says or U. I wonder what we'll find inside of the letter box today. This is something that starts with the letter U. It makes the short sound Here's your first clue. This is a type of a direction. The opposite of this direction is down. What's the opposite of down? Let's take a look. Up. So the opposite of down is up. And up starts with the letter U. This is how you write in uppercase. U. One more time. Here's the number of the week. Friends, do you remember what double-digit number this is? 16. When you write the number 16, you write two numbers. Can you show me with your fingers what number you write first? 1. And after the number 1, you write this number. 6. 1, 6. 16. Let's count to the number 16 together using the large bead frame. Today we're going to count to the number 16 using the large bead frame. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 110, 6 units. 16. We have one more thing to count before we move on to the sign of the week. Today, I have 16 pebbles to count. And as I count them, I'll line them up across the top of the box so that we can count them together. Because I have quite a few pebbles, I'm going to make 2 rows. 1 row of 8 and another row of 8 will make 16 altogether. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Halfway there. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16 pebbles. Yesterday I showed you how to say outside in sign language. Do you remember how to do that? Outside. You try. Outside. A long time ago, indigenous people would go on journeys and collect various items that they found along the way. Feathers, different flowers, and leaves. Then they would attach the items and objects onto a stick and also carve pictures or symbols into the wood. This was called a story stick or a journey stick. Nowadays, we read books or look at pictures that tell a story, but a journey stick was used for the same reason. For today's work, we are going to make our own journey sticks. Let's go! Right here, I have some materials for the journey or story sticks that we'll be making today. The first thing that you're going to need is a stick. So I found this on the ground outside of my yard. You're also going to need some colored yarn or twine, a pair of scissors, and some foraged materials that you find outside. So I have some flowers, I have some grass, a couple of leaves. Now, in order to make a story or a journey stick, people would start on a walk or a journey outside and collect the materials along the way. So these are the materials that I collected on my walk earlier today, and I'm just going to attach them along my stick. But the first thing that I did was take some colored yarn and I just wrapped it around and around and around. So I tied a little knot and I wrapped it around, and when I got to the end I added a new color and wrapped it around and around and then knotted it to keep it secure. And at the top I did the same thing. I made a little knot and I wound the purple yarn around and around the stick, but I left this long piece right here because what I'd like to do here is attach some of the materials just hanging off at the end. So I think that I'm going to use this little piece of goldenrod, maybe add this piece of grass, which is actually too long, so I'm going to trim off the end like this. And I'm just going to tie a little knot around the stems like so. Maybe add one more knot so that it's nice and secure. I don't want my organic materials falling off. So when I went on my walk, I started off at the top of my garden where I found these two leaves. So the leaves have started to change on my maple tree, and one's a deep red color, another is a yellow color. So I'm going to add them along my stick because this is the first leaf that I found, and then I continued my walk and I found this yellow maple leaf. So I'm going to cut these little pieces of yarn and just tie each leaf onto the stick. Friends, if you need some help attaching your materials to your story stick, you can always ask a grown-up to help you. So you can go on a walk and collect the materials independently, but always ask for help if you need it, especially if it involves tying knots or using scissors, something that you don't feel very comfortable doing yet. So here is the second maple leaf that I found on my walk, and I'm going to tie it, one more knot, and then at the end of my walk I came across a patch of goldenrod with some long blades of grass, and I'm just going to hang those from the end like so. So I can see that these pieces of yarn are a little bit too long, so I'm just going to trim off the extra. like this. And trim a little over here. And there we go. This is my journey or my story stick that I made today after I went on a walk through my garden. Let's get back to circle time. Welcome back to circle time, friends. An alternative for today's work for my younger learners would be to use a strip of cardboard and a piece of double-sided tape and attach the items found on the nature walk that way. Thanks for learning with me today. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel, give my video a thumbs up, and find me on OutSchool for my live and interactive classes. You can also support my channel by checking out my Patreon page and gain access to bonus features for your child. We have one last song to sing before we go. Goodbye, friends. Goodbye, friends. Goodbye, friends. I'll see you next time. Have a great day, everyone, and I'll see you tomorrow.